Hello, I'm Dylan Sanders, back with another video. Tomorrow night are the Oscars for the 2025 movie year, and so today I'm going to be ranking the 10 Best Picture nominations from the worst to the best. Before I get into the list, remember, go down below, hit that like and subscribe button. Also, while you're down there, remember to hit that notification bell and turn it on to be notified for all future videos. Talk about all things movies, television, video games. In particular, cover a lot of Stranger Things stuff on here, do Stranger Things edits to songs as well. And also remember to leave your ranking of all 10 Best Picture nominees, or however many of them that you have seen, down there in the comments. Now, with no further ado, let's get into the list. Coming in number 10 for me is The Secret Agent. To be clear, this is a very solid lineup of Best Picture nominees, so even 10th place, last place, this is still a good movie. That being said, I would say that this is pretty easily last place for me. There is a decent gap for me between this and the next movie, my number 9.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Wagner Moura as our lead does an amazing job, as do all the performances are great, but he is the standout. He definitely earns his Best Actor nomination. For the first hour or so of the movie, it just fully didn't click with me really. The plot of it didn't really feel like it had much of a plot or a driving factor pushing the movie forward, and there was so many questions left unanswered that I felt like I was being left out of what was going on in the movie. When I get the mystery and intrigue of it, but they needed to start giving us some answers quicker, I feel like. But then an hour and a half into the movie, we get this scene with Armando sitting down with Elsa, who we find out is in charge of this refugee type program that he's a part of, and sitting down with her in the back of the movie theater with his father-in-law. And that whole scene, in my opinion, is the best scene of the movie, that finally starts to give us a lot of answers and really ties everything, all the loose ends and mysteries and questions, and it all starts to make sense in that scene, and really heightened the first hour of the movie for me, that one sequence there. And then after this scene is where the movie really picks up, in my opinion, and we get a lot of the best moments and stuff, now knowing a lot more of the picture and of what's going on. The scene with him talking with all the other refugees and about their real names and their stories and stuff. And then with the final 20 minutes of the movie kind of crescendoing all the different storylines together with the corrupt police chief and the hitman and him, realizing that he's been caught and everything, all works really nicely. It did kind of abruptly end, in my opinion, and then cut to the present day part, which I loved the present day scene with his son grown up talking to the girl who was doing the research on him or listening to the tapes and everything. And that scene is great with him talking about seeing Jaws with his grandfather. But I wish we kind of would have got more there between the chase sequence and then that scene in the present. I feel like they meandered so long for the first hour of the movie, or hour and a half of the movie even really, that we could have cut some of that down or done that better and then gotten way more time in the last half of the movie, which I think is the way stronger portion of the film. So a bit uneven for me, and the first half weighs it down a bit, but still a very good movie, and even though it's last place on this list. Coming in number 9 for me is Hamnet, and if Secret Agent we were already in the good category, we're now already in the great category. This is a decent step up for me from The Secret Agent, and again, this is a great list of films, so even my number 9 movie, like Hamnet, is a great film. Chloe Zhao does amazing here as our director. It's my favorite movie I've seen from her, with just this very dark, bleak, depressing story. The performances are all great in here. The Jupe brothers, Jacoby and Noah Jupe, are both standouts in here. Jacoby as Hamnet, their son, and with all of the kind of things put on him at such a young age, and the relationship with his sister and everything, and you're able to feel all of that, while also him having such hopefulness and kind of being the light in this movie that is filled with darkness. And then Noah Jupe playing Hamlet in the play at the end is perfect casting, both because of the obvious fact that they're actually brothers in real life.
Yeah, no shit.
But also he just does phenomenal in those last 20 minutes where he's this character that literally has no connection to our story or to any of our other characters up to that point, and is just playing a part in a play. But he's able to fully connect us and immerse us and make both us and the characters watching feel all the emotions we're supposed to for those last 20 minutes. Paul Mescal's amazing in here. He's one of my favorite actors of like the last 5 years, and he does a great job in here. But the standout is for sure Jessie Buckley. She is pretty much guaranteed to win for Best Actress at this point. She is the most guaranteed win of any of the categories, I would say. And although she wouldn't be my personal pick, I would personally pick Renee Reinsve or Emma Stone from Sentimental Value and Begonia would over her. But if she wins, or I should say when she wins, I won't be upset at all. She's amazing in this film and definitely deserves the win. She carries a lot of the most emotional and gut-wrenching scenes in the film and is really able to put you into those emotions and everything and matches the bleakness of the film. I will say, for a movie that relies so heavily on the emotion with such kind of a dark, bleak, depressing streak throughout almost the entire film, it didn't fully resonate or click with me and get the emotions out of me that I think it wanted to.
You're wrong. How could you even say that?
I know for other people it did, but there's just other movies, even on this list, such as Sentimental Value, that just got a lot bigger of a reaction from me and a lot more emotions from me. Not to say that it didn't make me feel very, sad. Obviously it did, but it just didn't get fully the emotions out of me that I think it was supposed to personally. I just didn't click with it as much as I did with other movies that are higher on this list. Coming in number 8 for me is Train Dreams, a fairly simple film following just a normal man's life that then turns into a tragedy about halfway through the film. Felicity Jones is great in here. William H. Macy is really good. That relationship was one of the standouts of the movie for me. But Joel Edgerton is for sure the standout of the film, kind of carrying the movie in particular, like the last half, as we really follow him throughout this whole entire film. It's not this huge emotional expressive performance, it's more toned down, but that fits the character and the environment, and when we see those emotions come up, it makes it hit that much harder. The cinematography in this movie is also absolutely breathtaking. This is the most beautiful looking movie on this list, and for sure would be my pick to win Best Cinematography at the Oscars. There's shots in this film that you could paint and hang up in your house or have as your computer wallpaper that are just like gorgeous.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
And this film is also very, tragic and bleak in a similar sense to Hamnet, but it has kind of this underlying storyline about change and time that just really connected with me. And that final scene with him in the airplane kind of perfectly wrapping up that theme and messaging about time and about change and everything, and him just smiling there while flying around and seeing the beauty of the world from the airplane is one of my favorite final scenes to any movie from last year. Coming in at number 7 for me is Begonia, from the wacky but amazing mind of Yorgos Lanthimos. I've seen about 4 or 5 of his films now, and this is actually my favorite movie from him. Just the concept alone of this film I love, of this guy that from stuff he's seen on the internet and things he's gone through in his past has just lost his mind and convinced himself that the head of this company is an alien that has come to Earth to destroy the human race, and that he is going to talk to them and try to talk to their leader to make peace and to save the human race and everything. It's just a great concept for a movie. And Yorgos Lanthimos is the perfect person to do it, and he does it almost perfectly for me. Unfortunately for me, easily the weakest part of this film is the ending, where I just still don't fully know how to feel about it. I love Yorgos Lanthimos. I really enjoy all of his movies that I've seen, and he's very, creative and different and wacky, and so that is not at all my issue with the ending, is not the wackiness of it. It's the fact that I feel like upon a rewatch or just looking back at certain scenes, that there's certain things that are just not going to hit as hard, or there's certain layers to it that I feel like the ending kind of messes with, to where certain things just aren't going to make sense or aren't going to work as well upon a second watch.
Because that makes no sense?
As of recording this video, I've only seen the film once, so I think, again, upon a rewatch, I'll really be able to say exactly how I feel about the ending and how it changes the film for me. But as of now, with one watch, I'm not huge on the ending. And honestly, my 6 and 7 spot on this list are really close, and genuinely, this would probably be a spot higher if it wasn't for that ending. The highlight of this film is our two lead performances, which in my opinion are two of the best performances from any movie on this list or any movie last year, with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. It is a crime that Jesse Plemons wasn't nominated for Best Actor.
Inconceivable!
He for sure would get one of those 5 nomination slots for me. He's amazing in this film. Playing this guy who has really just lost his mind, but you can't just play that as like crazy, or because it would be too one note and not convincing. Jesse Plemons plays this character with such sincerity, and that you just fully buy that this is his reality and this is what he believes. And just again, he just does phenomenal in the role. Emma Stone also incredible, and here again, second behind Renee Reinsve for me of the Best Actress noms. I would give the edge to Renee Reinsve, but Emma Stone is phenomenal, giving a very layered performance in here, where at times she plays this very vulnerable, just desperation of trying to convince them that they're crazy and that she's not an alien. And then other times despite being a prisoner, being very just strong and stern with them and just talking to them like they're equals. And then at times playing into their delusions and acting like an alien and that they're right, and does all of it so well. So an amazing, unique film that is slightly hurt for me by the ending. Coming in number 6 for me is One Battle After Another, by far the frontrunner to win Best Picture tomorrow. And although it wouldn't be my personal choice, I will not be upset if it does win. It's an amazing movie, another grand epic from Paul Thomas Anderson. It's not my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I'd still put There Will Be Blood and Magnolia above it, but it's another incredible film in his filmography. A lot of amazing performances in here. You have Sean Penn as this just over-the-top, almost cartoonish villain at times, but it fits and matches the character he's playing and makes her just one of the most despicable characters from any movie last year. Leonardo DiCaprio is obviously amazing as our lead. And here, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of overlooked at this point because he's Leonardo DiCaprio, so you just expect him to be amazing, but he still deserves his props because he's incredible in this movie, giving a lot of more like comedic, funny moments too. I think DiCaprio is really underrated with his comedic timing and stuff, because I think he's great with that in like Wolf of Wall Street, and he has a lot of funny moments in here, in particular with the phone and the different codes and stuff. For me, the standout performance is Chase Infinity as his daughter, who is kind of the heart of the film and the character you grow to care about the most throughout the movie. And she got some love at some other award shows, but unfortunately she's not nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars.
What? No.
But I would definitely put her in there again. I think she's the best performance in the film, and it's also her debut film, which makes it even crazier because she's amazing in here. It's a really well-paced movie too, with a long runtime like most of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, but it never really slows down for too long and always keeps you intrigued. There's definitely certain storylines or sequences that are stronger than other storylines or sequences, but there's none that are like really weak or weighing the film down at all, so it stays fairly consistent throughout. So yeah, it's a great Best Picture nomination that I think after tomorrow we'll probably be able to say is a great Best Picture winner. Coming in number 5 for me is Frankenstein, a classic, amazing story that's been told many times before, and I think Guillermo del Toro was the perfect person to do a modern retelling of it. His style just fits this story so well, and he's able to put his own style and uniqueness into it while staying fairly loyal to the original amazing story. I think this movie does a great job at balancing the Dr. Frankenstein and the Frankenstein monster and showing both their perspectives and storylines. The whole cast in here is great: Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Christoph Waltz, but the standout is Jacob Elordi. Personally, I would be really close between Jacob Elordi and Stellan Skarsgård for who I would want to win Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. I think at this point, I don't really think either of them are going to win. I think it's probably going to be Sean Penn, but I would be between those two because Jacob Elordi is amazing in this film. He disappears into this role, and obviously you can credit some of that to the amazing makeup and prosthetics and everything, but that only does so much. You can't fully rely on that. The performance is what really has to sell it. And you're able to fully feel the intimidating monster that Frankenstein is supposed to be, while being able to really sympathize with his character, with seeing how he's treated by the doctor and just by people in general, and with the relationship he forms with Mia Goth, and then later in the film at the barn with the older man and everything, just showing that he just wants to have friends and human connection and everything, to where by the end of the movie you're kind of rooting for the monster. At least I certainly was.
That's crazy.
But I think that the way that they wrap up the story and really show that connection between the Doctor and the monster and everything is all handled really well, and just makes for an awesome, epic, grand retelling of a classic, amazing story. Coming in number 4 for me is Marty Supreme, another film from Josh Safdie following someone that's just making horrible decision after horrible decision and digging themselves into a deeper and deeper hole, very similar vein to Good Time and Uncut Gems. I still prefer Uncut Gems. That's my favorite film from him, but Marty Supreme's an amazing movie as well. Using ping pong as the backdrop, but really the film is about Marty just in his dedication to the craft as just this egotistical person that just wants to win and doesn't really care about what he has to do that. Gwyneth Paltrow does great in here. Odessa A'zion is a standout in there, but obviously this is Timothée Chalamet's time to shine. He's incredible in this film. I've gone back and forth between him and Michael B. Jordan as to who I want to win the Oscar. At this point, I would be fine with either of them. They're definitely my top two, and whichever direction it goes, I'll be happy with, because I think they both deserve it. This film is meant to heighten your anxiety, and it does an amazing job as that, as it's just like a rush from beginning to end.
You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Where you form this love-hate relationship with this character, where there's moments in the film where you're rooting for him to get out of the shitty situation he's in or to succeed at what he's doing, even though he's kind of, again, an egotistical asshole a lot of the times that can get on your nerves as well. All leading up to that final ping pong scene, which is great shot sequence there. And for me, at least, the film did a great job of making it to where, like, I didn't really even know if I wanted Marty to win in that final ping pong game. And I think that was their goal throughout the film with this character. And, like, where once he won and celebrated, I wasn't really celebrating with him. But you can't deny his drive and passion to, just prove that he was one of the best. That was what he wanted, was just to win. He didn't care about the showmanship of it or anything like that. All he wanted to do was win. And to see him accomplish that at the end is satisfying, even if, he did some questionable things along the way. And so it makes for a great, complex lead character that you just follow on, again, just this adrenaline rush of a movie. Coming in number 3 for me is F1. Is this the least artsy, the least maybe deserving of the Best Picture nom, the most straightforward film of the bunch? Yeah, but do I care? No, not at all.
Who gives a shit?
This film is a blast. It is a summer blockbuster, and I love when movies like this get nominated for Best Picture. I think it should happen way more often. It's a tried and true formula with the older, more experienced person with the younger, hot-headed rookie teaming up in a sport or competition, or competing in a sport or competition. But it's a tried and true formula for a reason, and if you do it justice, it can be amazing, and this film does it justice. From Joseph Kosinski, the director of Top Gun Maverick, and he brings all that flair and style and summer blockbuster feel into this movie, and I think he's delivered 2 of the best summer blockbusters of this decade so far. I definitely prefer Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's like top 40 movies of all time for me. This doesn't reach that level, but it's still an absolute just blast of a summer blockbuster.
This is where the fun begins.
That delivers on these incredible racing sequences with the sound design and the camera angles and everything that just puts you there on the track, is able to make you feel that rush that Brad Pitt talks about, and that final race scene, to feel everything that he's feeling there is really important for that scene to work, and they fully are able to capture that magic. And Brad Pitt does amazing in here, as always, just oozing charisma as our lead character. Damson Idris also does incredible in here, is able to perfectly match Brad Pitt on that charisma, and they're able to bounce off each other so well, and the relationship they form in this film is one of, if not the highlight of the movie. Not every movie needs to be some groundbreaking, brand new thing we've never seen before. Sometimes you just need an amazing, fun film, and that's exactly what F1 is for me. Coming in number 2 for me is Sentimental Value, a movie I went into knowing very little about and just blew me away. If Hamnet is a super emotional film that just didn't fully click with me, this one connected with me on every single level that it was supposed to. Every emotional moment hit super hard and just makes you think a lot. There's so many incredible emotional moments throughout this film that it's impossible to talk about all of them, but the best scene of the film for me is when the sisters come together towards the end of the film and really just talk for the first time in the movie and share their feelings together and open up, with her first showing her the part of her dad's script for his film. And there's that line that prayer is just acknowledging despair, which is already one of my favorite movie lines like ever. Just hits so hard and really makes you think. And then the scene that follows that right after, with them just talking to each other on the bed, and the one sister who is very much more outgoing about everything she's gone through and her issues and depression and everything, versus the other sister who has a family and seems so put together, but them opening up to each other and realizing, no, they've both gone through the same thing and have similar feelings a lot of the times.
Oh, God, that's depressing.
The performances across the board here are incredible. Again, Stellan Skarsgård probably would be my pick for Best Supporting Actor. It'd be close with him and Jacob Elordi. But Renee Reinsve would for sure be my pick for Best Actress. She is incredible in here as our lead character, that does such a good job with the huge emotional moments and with the restraint sometimes from the emotion, and just does phenomenal. And using the dad's film as a way to let a lot of the characters get their emotions out there, or kind of have a retrospective on their feelings and stuff, even with a side character like Elle Fanning and her kind of realization about the role not being right for her and everything, even as like a subplot in the film, perfectly works with the overall messaging of the movie of overcoming your emotions and learning to let go. So yeah, just a film filled with incredible scenes and moments and lines of dialogue that will really, really stick with me and really, really connected with me. But coming in number 1 for me is Sinners, an incredible film from Ryan Coogler, my favorite movie from Ryan Coogler. It's able to blend so many different genres with this period piece mixed with a musical, mixed with vampires, and it does it all really well. The cast is filled with amazing, memorable performances from Delroy Lindo to Haley Steinfeld and everyone in between. The standout here is, of course, Michael B. Jordan as our 2 leads as the twins Smoke and Stack. Like I said with Marty Supreme, I'm back and forth between him and Chalamet, and so I will be fine with either of them winning. There is a part of me, I think, that does slightly lean towards Michael B. Jordan, but that could just be because I like Sinners better as a movie. But he does an amazing job playing both these characters and making them distinct, so you can always tell them apart, with one being much more level-headed and calmer, with the other one being a bit more of a hothead and more intimidating of a character. And it does such a great job at shifting genres without ever feeling sloppy, and always gives all of them their time. It's an absolutely beautifully shot film too, with so many of my favorite shots of any film from 2025. The iconic one being at the end with the burning body, and with Michael B. Jordan with his cousin in the lake. That's beautiful, but there's so many more that are just stunning as well. Ludwig Göransson gives us the best score of 2025 with this film. He for sure is my pick for the win for best score. He is on his way to become the next John Williams, Hans Zimmer. He's definitely reaching that status with Oppenheimer and now this. His score for this film is incredible. This film is filled with amazing sequences, including one of my favorite scenes from any movie last year, with the one shot with his cousin singing in the bar while it goes through and shows people from playing music from all different time periods. Such a phenomenal sequence.
Yes! Hell yeah!
And once we get to the bar, it kind of turns into a one-location movie and is able to build intensity so well with the people outside and inside, all the way up to that final climactic fight. And as one of the best endings to any movie of last year, with that end credit scene that just beautifully ends it all off and gives this emotional gut punch there right at the end, with Michael B. Jordan saying, for that one night, for those couple hours we were really living, gives me goosebumps just now just saying it. That really echoes the theme of the film. So yeah, it is my favorite of the 10 Best Picture nominees, and I won't lie, again, there's a lot of great movies on this list, so there's a lot of movies that I'd be perfectly happy if they won tomorrow, but if I got full say, if I got to pick who won Best Picture tomorrow night at the Oscars, I would pick Sinners. And that is my ranking of the 10 Best Picture nominees. Don't forget to go down below, leave your ranking in the comments, or just let me know what you want to win from different categories at the Oscars. I will definitely be watching them live tomorrow, looking forward to them. While you're down there, also hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you all for watching.